Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I'm gonna go through like two or three or four pops real quick, and then I'm gonna kind of go over some Funko news, some stuff that Funko's got going on. So they got this fall event going on, and then they've also added like their top 10 most added. Hey, let's get these pops open first, and then we'll talk about that here in a minute. So for today on the Throwback Wednesday, I brought out Trader Grim. Now, I brought this guy out for a few different reasons. One is he's a really awesome pop. Two is this was a fan-made pop. Now, this guy actually made this pop for his kids. He has two twin boys. He designed it. He made it for them. And then he sent it into Funko. They did a few changes. And then you had this guy. This is probably one of my favorite pops when it comes to the Fantastic Plastics line. And just because of the story and the background that goes into these fan-made pops, right? I mean, because there's a lot of background and stuff that goes into those. So I tend to really gravitate toward these like Fantastic Plastics or whatever it is that they're calling these guys. I think that they're pretty awesome pops. How about throw a comment and let me know what you think about the Fantastic Plastic line? Is this a pop that you get into? Do you like these pops? They had the whole like story here on the back on like Trader Grim and all of that good stuff. But I mean, like I said just a second ago, this is one of my favorites because of the backstory in this. So this guy designed this pop for his kids. He did the whole like he has two twin kids. He designed it for them. He sent it into Funko. They made a few changes. So if you get on their site and you find like Trader Grim, you can actually find the original. The changes they made were very minute though. I mean, they didn't do a whole lot of changes to this guy. I want to say that it was really just in his stance, the way they had him standing. They kind of changed it a little to fit more of a Funko style. Guys, how are y'all doing? It is good to see y'all today. So like I said though, Trader Grim is the Fantastic Plastic. He is my pick, and he's going to be the pop for the Throwback Thursday. Now, I've got a couple of other pops over here my boy Justin sent over for me to unbox, and I thought what better time to do them than on Throwback Thursday. So this is Trader Grim, like I was saying just a second ago. He is like my favorite pop from the Fantastic Plastic line. I like this guy a lot. I've had him now, I want to say, for almost a year. I wanted to say they made him right at the beginning of the year. But moving on from there, we are going to go into the Marvel Ironheart. Now, this is out of my buddy Justin's collection. This is not out of my collection. This is out of my buddy Justin's collection. He sent this one over for me to get unboxed for you guys. This is a really awesome pop. He says, oh, I'm going to do it on live. That's right. Chase, how are you doing, brother? It is good to see you. So Ironheart here is a female. I don't really know a whole lot about her. Justin, I had to start throwing some comments over there about her. I don't know a whole lot about her. What I do know, just looking at her coming out of here, she is a Pop in the Box exclusive. I've never seen that sticker right there because I've never had a Pop in the Box exclusive. The sticker is pretty fire, if we're being honest. I like the sticker on this one, but I mean, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about her. I do know that they put her on one of these clear acrylic stands, and y'all know that I really like these clear acrylic stands. These clear acrylic stands to me are fire because when you display it, right, it's not like the rest of your pops. You display them, they sit on the ground. When you display this one and you back up a few feet, suddenly it looks like it is sitting off of the ground, right? So to me, that really changes the whole dynamic in the way that we're collecting it, right? Because it changes the stance, it changes everything about it. Now on the back of her feet there, they have this kind of smoke look going on right there. The paint job on her is really well done. I mean, it's a really good looking paint job. And on her chest, they have it look like it's a little battle worn. So it's got a little deflection right on the chest. Really awesome pop. They did a great job when it came right down to like the paint job on this thing. I don't see any real paint imperfections to talk about. I see a little bit right on the top of it, but you'll never notice it inside of the box. This is a really fire pop. I'm going to tell you this. That's a really fire pop. So that's a great one to add to your collection if you're into Iron Man and stuff of that effect. I don't know who the Ironheart is. Like I said a second ago, Justin's going to have to throw a comment over there and tell me exactly who she is because I just don't have a clue who she is. Look, I want to say that she's probably out of a comic book or maybe she's out of one of the new Avenger movies that I haven't seen because look, I'm not going to lie to any of y'all. I don't really watch a whole lot of TV when it comes right down to it. So like here recently, I just seen Venom. So if that tells you like how far behind I am on movies and things of that effect, I mean, just here recently, I sat down and watched Venom, and now I understand like the whole like Venomized pops. Before I didn't understand like why everything was Venomized. Now I have a much clearer understanding as to what they have going on there and why they have so many different Venomized pops. And then I'm going to have number 355, Batman Scrooge. This is another one out of my buddy Justin's collection that he sent over for me to unbox. This is a really fire pop. Now, I did not pick this guy up, and I really don't know why I didn't pick him up, if we're being honest. They have 6 commons on the back of this box. This is always their commons. So just in case, like we didn't know, right? Anytime they have the ones on the back of the box, that is what they are considering their common pops, right? I mean, so anytime you see them on the back, that is what they are considering in their commons. Their uncommons are the ones that are not on the back of the box. Just in case you didn't know that, I'm going to throw that in there real quick just to give you a heads up real quick, just so you know in the future, right? So, yeah, boy. What is it? Cisco, yeah, boy. How are you doing, brother? I hope I said that right. I'm not going to give you any promises if I said that right, but I am hoping that I said that right. Guys, if you have anything that you want to talk about whatsoever, remember this is our time to hang out. We go from 3 to 4. I've got some Funko stuff coming up. I've got some we might go over their Instagram page if we make it, but I just today I found that Funko has, you'll see in a minute. Let's get this Scrooge open and see what we have going on. Now, like I said a second ago, he's number 355 out of the group. I always open these guys from the bottom, and the reason I open them from the bottom is if you start to have any problems, it's a lot easier to cover up the fact that you had a problem from the bottom than it is from the top. And most of the time I don't. If you'll take something to this, it's something that's really flat. This thing really doesn't have an edge. It's got a little bit of a sharp edge, but nothing to talk about. And this is something that they actually used in the blow mold plant that I used to run. So it's something that was actually used for plastic. That's kind of why I know a lot about these plastics and stuff like that. But anyways, this is going to be the first time that I've had a look at the Ironheart and the Scrooge Batman right off the jump, which is crazy when I was saying a second ago that I didn't pick this one up, because I normally pick up just about everything Batman that I can get my hands on. So, I mean, it's that's normally how I do this, Mark. I'm glad I could help you. That's why I'm here, brother. I try and like I spread the information that I know, right? So that's what makes this such a great community, is everybody is really happy, everybody's really helpful, and it's so stuff like that. Look, I'm glad that I could help you. The Scrooge looks kind of fire. But I am going to say that if they took him out of the suit, let's say that they took this suit off, right? So let's just say that they took his head off. You could pretty much put anybody on the top of this, and it could be Batman, it could be Superman, it could be anything. So for you people out there that just want to custom something, you could custom your own Scrooge in a few minutes flat, right? I mean, just in a few minutes flat. This is a really fire like pop, though. And I didn't pick this one up. Maybe I'll grab this one in the future. You know how they always have them laying around. They'll have it laying around for months after Christmas. So maybe if I see it somewhere out in the wild, I'll grab it if I see it out in the wild. But those are going to be the 3 pops that I'm going to open today. But then I'm going to like move over real quick, and we're going to pull up like some bat slippers. I did see the bat slippers. So I'm going to move over a second, and we're going to pull up let's see where it's at. There it is. So this is going to be Funko's, and I want to say this is their top. Let me make sure I'm giving you all the right information, right? So this is Funko's, this is their 2020 most collected and added to the wish list inside of their app, right? So they got the top 10 of the ones that are the top 10 added to the collections of 2020. So these are going to be the ones that people added to their collections in 2020. And then they have another top 10 of the pops that were put in people's wish list on 2020. Now, I think this is really cool that Funko took the time to sit down and do this, because to me, this just kind of adds that little bit of a flair, right? When it comes right down to the Funko, right? They just added a little bit more flair. Not only now did they just tell you which ones were the most collected in a year, they told you which ones were the most added to a list. So in the event that you are looking to sell your pops, or you want to just pick up pops that you know that are going to go up in value at some point in time, this is kind of going to be the cheat sheet that you could use in the event that you were going to do that. Now, I'm never going to do that, but I do think it's really cool that I'm now going to be able to pull up what was their top 10, both added and collected this year. So right up in number 10, look, we all kind of predicted this one, right? Or at least I would have clearly predicted this one. right up in number 10 is going to be the child. Now, I think this is for a couple of different reasons, if we're being honest. If we're being totally honest, I think this one is for a couple of reasons. One, they made 10 of these guys. So they made 9 of them in a regular form, and then number 10 is going to be the 10-inch pop. So altogether, you have 10 of the childs all in the same pose. So that's going to be one of the reasons why I think that guy is like right up in their top 10. Now, they have them numbered 1 through 10, but I don't think that they're numbered in any like order, right? I think that they just kind of threw these guys in there however they wanted to throw them in, and then we just go from there. So that's going to be the number 1 that they have. So let's see what they have for number 2. Number 2 is going to be the Iron Man. So it says I am Iron, and I know that this is from some movie that I should really know where it's coming from, but I just don't know what movie this one is coming from. This one's a Tony Stark at some point, and at some point he must have gotten hurt, because you can tell that he has the whole like battle like wound. Absolutely. Look, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up for me. There we go. So as I was saying just a second ago, the Tony Stark is number 2. Now, like I said, I don't think they have these guys in any standard order. I think they just put 1 through 10 on there. So they're 10 most collected, and then they're 10 most added to the wish list. Now, I think some of these actually cross interact, because I know that the Tony is also in their top number 10 added to the wish list, but we'll see, right? We will absolutely see that here in a second. So let's get off of this guy and see what they have as number 3. Number 3 is kind of predictable, if we're being honest. It is going to be Captain America. Here's the thing about Captain America. Captain America is always sold out. Always sold out. Captain America is always sold out. I can't think of a time that I go somewhere, and if I see a Captain America, I'm going to pick this guy up. I am not going to let my captain sit out in the wild, because they always sell out. Cisco, yeah, boy, I am using, what is it, SteamYard. So it's SteamYard, has this little duck on there. It's one of the easiest ways to reach out and do live broadcasts without really pulling on your computer. So if you don't have that strong of a computer, even though I do, because I like the game, so all of my computers in my house are gaming computers, but if you don't want to like take the route of getting them pulled on by OBS programs and stuff like that, then you can go to StreamYard, which is an online company. They do all the hard work for you. So you plug everything in, they broadcast it to your channel, and then all of the strain comes on their system versus your system. That way you don't have major amounts of lagging. It just makes things easier, right? Now, and I never mind. Anytime you want to talk to me, you want to ask a question, that's what this hour is about. This hour is all of us hanging out together, talking to each other, getting to know each other. This is what we do, right? This is us having fun. So the internet went back down. Hey, Chase, if you only knew how many times that happens to me, it's okay, brother. So let's see. I'm trying to collect the pop albums. I have the Biggie one, just ordered the Black Sabbath, the 3rd album, AC/DC. Find it anywhere. So the AC/DC album is a Walmart exclusive. Now, I think that it's sold out once already. I just picked it up on its 2nd run. I'm with you, Mark. I've been currently going after every one of them. I did a video on the Biggie album that's ranked pretty high up in their rankings. So if you want to go check that one out, it's in my list somewhere. So I did that review like right as it came out. I just recently also did the Black Sabbath one, so I got that video up. That's been doing really well as well. The AC/DC though is a Walmart exclusive. It's super hard to get your hands on. It sold out once. I think it might have even sold out twice. But before I move on, I'm going to tell you the cool thing about Walmart. The absolute cool thing about Walmart is so you've got to, no. So going to the AC/DC, if you'll go to Walmart and you'll find their album, you can actually click on it and it'll say, let me know when it's back in stock. So the second it comes back in their stock, they'll shoot you an email. When you get that email, don't get caught slipping. Go ahead and place the order then, because I don't know what it is about Walmart and their pre-orders. They sell out a lot. So either they're ordering a very little of them, or because they're branched out so many places that it's hard for them to kind of keep that stuff there when it goes online. So go to Walmart and find that one, because that one's going to be a pretty hot one, I believe. You're currently using the Steam. Yeah, the Steam Labs, the OBS is the problem with that is it is hard on your PC. I mean, you really got to have a PC that's pushing in order to run those kind of programs. But then if you have anything that happens, so if anybody is running on your Wi-Fi or they're running on your internet, and one little thing happens, then it throws you into this lagging like point of life. And OBS is great if you have the internet, if you have the computer, if you have all of that to use and you want to learn how to make different things. That is the way to go. If you just want this to be able to plug and go and add a few little things and get it looking right, check out the SteamYard. I really like my SteamYard. Moving on down the list though, we are going in. So this is something that I do absolutely nothing about. When I say nothing, I mean I know nothing. I know nothing about some Pokemon, nothing at all. I do know that this guy's in their top 10, so that means that there's a lot of people that went after him this year. He is going to be the Squirtle. I know that they also made this guy in a 10-inch version. I'm just going to say that this is going to be the common 3.5 inch. That's what I'm going to say it is, but let's see. He says, thank you, Wayne. I will look into it. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, go check them out when you get a minute. There's some pretty cool videos, and I've been on top of them since day one. So go check them out when you get a minute. I know that they made a 10-inch Squirtle. I mean, they did this guy a lot like they did the rest of them. Now, I'm not big into Pokemon, so I don't currently have him in my collection, but apparently he was a big seller this, right? So he made it into Funko's top 10 as most added to their collection. And then we have another Pokemon right up in the line. And this is how you know Pokemon has to be like, they have to be like highly sought after. And there must be a lot of people that are collecting them, because they just had two make it into Funko's top 10 most added to their, hey, Cisco, have a good day, brother. They just have two of the pops that made it into their top 10. Hey, K Titus, how are you doing, bud? So, I mean, that tells you right there how highly Pokemon is sought after by collectors. And there's nothing wrong with collecting Pokemon. I just simply don't collect them. Now, we are going to move into the Iron Spider. Now, this one kind of confuses me because I thought that the Iron Spider was a Funko shop, not a Funko shop. I thought that it was a Walgreens pop. So, this one kind of has me confused as to what they have going on right here. I really thought that he was going to be into the Walgreens line. I expected to see a Walgreens exclusive sticker on him when I clicked on him, but I did not see that. Look, I'm okay with that. Maybe they didn't put that on there because of the fact that it's on their site. I don't really know like what the thought process is that goes into some of this stuff, but that is a really cool pop. I mean, that's a really cool pop. Right at the end of the day, I would have picked that one up, but I don't really know where it was at. I think that I seen it at Walgreens at some point. I just can't remember. Oh, so now we have four. We have four Funkos, four Pokemons that moved into Funko's top 10 most collected this year. I mean, that just goes right there. And I know that there's going to be another one right behind this one, right? So this is number 3 that made it into their top 10. And we know that right behind this one is a number 4. I mean, so that just goes to show you how many people out there are collecting the Pokemon. I mean, this year was a big year for Pokemon. It was a big year for anime. It was a big year for all of those stuff. I mean, so that is another really cool thing. That look, it almost makes me think that maybe I missed the boat somewhere, not collecting, the whole like Pokemon line. But I'm still never going to collect the Pokemon line. Like, look, at some point I decided that I was just going to keep it real with you guys, and I was only going to unbox and show the stuff that I collect. But that shows just how many people here in the United States this year are collecting Pokemon. Absolutely insane. So let's go ahead and see what the 4th Pokemon on the list is going to be, a Pikachu. Now, funny enough, this is the only character that I know. Right? This is the only one I know when it comes to Pokemon is Pikachu. He's the only one that I know. He's also, I think, the cutest one that they've made, and I also think that he was one of the original ones that they made. Yesy Lou, how are you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Hey guys, if there's anything at all y'all want to talk about, if you want to stop me as I'm going down this list and talk about it a little further, throw a comment over there and let me know. But while we're here, take a second to hit that thumbs up real quick. Hit that thumbs up. Make sure that the video gets a little bit more recognition. That way we can get out there to a little bit more people. Everybody here knows that I am on the Wayne Bot 5000 this year. I say that. Look, I'm really thinking that I'm just going to change it to Wayne 5000, but with the robot and all, it gives me like a cooler sticker. So right now we're going to call it the Wayne Bot 5000. Oh, and number 5 of the Pokemons today that made it on Funko's top 10 most added to your app in the My Collection spot is going to be and I'm not even sure that I can say this. What is this? Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Not even what do you call that? Yep, not even gonna slaughter it. Not even gonna try and slaughter it. So 6 Pokemons this year made it into their top 10 most collected, and number 10 in most added to, let's see, there we are. And number 10 most added to the collection is going to be the 1989 Joker. Now, this 1989 Joker is fire. Now, not only is he fire, but I believe that the chase variants to this Joker was the strongest chase variants of 2020. Now, you could say that I'm wrong on that, but that one is going to be the hottest chase of 2020. So it makes I'm not surprised at all to see him make it onto the most added in your My Collection part of the app, right? I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all to see that one on there. Now we are about to get into their top 10 most added to wish list on their app, right? So while you're on their app, and I kind of wish I had it right here so I could pull it up. So while you're on their app, you have a spot when you can click on them, and you either like you throw it like in my collection, or you throw it like in a wish list, right? So I wish I had this one. I'd like to have this one. So in their apps, those two spots. So one of them is where it's most added to your collection. So that's where this list is going to stop right here. This list right here is going to stop in these were the ones that were the most added to your collection. Now, the next top 10 that are coming up are going to be the ones that were added into the wish list. Now, as we go down this wish list, how about y'all tell me if there's anything in there that you think should have made it into their top 10 wish list that didn't make it, right? Is there a pop in there that you think should have been in there that you don't see in there? I mean, because to me, that happens a lot, right? I see stuff like this and I'm like, man, that's not what I would have picked, but I understand why it was picked. So moving right down into their most added wish list, and like I said right at the beginning of this, is going to be the Iron Man, and I want to say that this one's the I Am Iron Man or whatever it is, but it's Tony Stark, and he's got the battle wounds, and I don't know exactly what movie this is from, but I know that it's somewhere in there, and it has to be in one of the Avengers, right? I mean, if we're being honest, it's definitely in one of the Avengers. Still waiting on the Deadpool on the throne. Yeah, look, I totally understand. It's supposed to be a GameStop exclusive. Just in case you didn't know, that one's a GameStop exclusive. The Red Mando should have definitely been on there. Hey, look, I'm not even. If you've seen the Red Mando, and Chase, I know you've seen the Red Mando, and if you haven't seen the Red Mando, go check it out. I got him in one of the videos. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was labeled. It was labeled mail call. Mr. TechBot sent it to me, so it should have been labeled mail call. Right on the thumbnail, it says, "Did I get punked?" And the reason it says that on the thumbnail is I'm going to go ahead and elaborate. There's no clickbait going on there. So Chris showed it to me a few times on our live feeds, and we'd be talking and he'd chat and he'd throw it up there, and I'd say, "Oh man, I got to get that red card." Well, he did that a few times, and then he mailed it to me for Christmas. Great friend, Chris's great friend. So he mailed it to me for Christmas, and that was the part. Did I get punked? Because I seen him with it all this time, and then he mailed it to me. So go check that one out when you get a minute as well. Let's see, that is right before he died. I didn't think that he ever died, Chase. I think that they just keep bringing him back, right? Pop the Heat. How are you doing, brother? So he made it into the most added to your wish list this year, 2020, right? Not this year. Let's say that that's last year. Maybe we could even call it COVID year. Maybe that would just make more sense if we just called it COVID year. Now let's see. Let's see what they have as number 2. Most added to the list is going to be a Pokemon. So I think the thing we're going to see a lot here is we're going to see like the most collected and the most added to someone's wish list are going to kind of intermingle together, right? We're going to see those guys kind of twist and mingle right together, because it only makes sense that if people are out collecting these things, then they were also, right? They were also wanting them. So it only makes sense, right? If you had that much buzz going on about something, that you're going to see that much of him coming out. So let's see what they have as number 3, and it's going to be, now this one I can totally understand how it made it into the wish list, and I can't all at the same time. So when I first seen this one, I thought, I totally understand because I'm a huge Mando fan, so I totally get how he made it right into their top 10 most added to your wish list of 2020, right? So I can see how it made it in there, but at the same time, I can't, because this guy stuck around Walmart for a really long time. He did not move off their shelves in any kind of a hurry. I never picked him up, by the way. I never grabbed this one. I just wasn't going to go after him. They had already had 100,000 Mandalorians come out. They had 9 of the Childs come out, and I just couldn't see continuously buying the same 2 items over and over and over and over. They do, however, have a Mando riding, and it's the, I just lost it right on the top of my head. He is riding the, what do you call that thing? I can't really remember right off the top of my head, but he's riding that big, like, elephant almost looking. Anyways, y'all know what I'm saying. So he's riding that big animal. I've almost picked that one up a few times, but I've just kind of like let it slip away. And you know, Chase, that's one of the things about this, right? They kind of made some of these a little overpriced, right? I mean, when it came right down to it, they made some of these guys overpriced, and this is one of them that I definitely felt was overpriced, right? I mean, I felt like this one was out there, and I felt like a few other ones that they've recently come out with is overpriced. But that's partially our fault. We kind of have to take some responsibility for that, because Funko has been pushing the line on what they can charge people. JKL, what's up, brother? Funko has been pushing the line as to what they can charge people, a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, and they've been pushing it to see where it's going to top out. In their defense, I don't really think that it's topped out. So that's why we continue to see things go up a little more and a little more and a little more. It'll only stop when we stop paying the price for them. But I can easily see how this made it into Funko's most added to your wish list of 2020. Let's move on from there. So we have another Pokemon, whatever this guy is. This goes right back to the, I have no clue. Zero clue who these Pokemon are, what they are, or nothing to that effect. I can respect people collecting them, though, because these guys came out just a little after I kind of got out of that whole, like, phase of my life. I had been born 4 or 5 years like later, that I'm sure that I would have been just as big into these as everybody else. I just didn't get into them. It was one of those things that I just didn't get into. I don't think that I'll ever honestly get into them, if we're just being honest, but they make some pretty cool pops. They've been around for a long time now. I want to say they've been around for at least like 15 years, maybe even a touch longer than that. They've held the test of time. People love them. They have all kinds of games out there. So they have the mobile game. They have other games. So the Pokemon has stood the test of time, and people are continuing to collect them. And it shows in this list. I mean, this list to me looks like it was the year of Pokemon. And I mean, even going into this one, I mean, we went into another Pokemon. I mean, right back to back to back to back. And I'll go back through here real quick when we end this and just tell you how many of these guys made it either into their wish list or how many made it into someone's collection, added to their collection this year. But it is a lot. I know that when we were on there, how many was added to someone's collection a minute ago, it was something like 5 out of the 10 that were added to the most added to people's collection were Pokemon. I mean, and now here we are going right back into another Pokemon. Reading Railroad, how are you doing, guys? If there's anything, don't forget anything we want to talk about, throw a comment over there. If you want to slow me down, throw a comment over there. JKL told me 27 years. I knew that they had been around a long time, right? I mean, I was not under any like wrong thinking that they had been around for a long time, but I just never got into them. I actually have like some of the cards sitting around here and there. And I just did a video for Ryan. Now, I don't know if y'all remember the video I did where it was no words needed. So I did a video that was no words needed. And I challenged everybody to do a video as well that was no words needed. And Ryan, and he's a young man, he actually took up the challenge, but he took up the challenge with the stipulation. His stipulation was he would do a video with no words needed as long as I did an uncarding, as is what I'm going to call it. I wanted to say an unboxing, but it's clearly not an unboxing. It would have been an uncarding. So he said, as long as you do the Pokemon unboxing, I will come in and I'll do a no words unboxing. I So it's going to be next Monday. That video is going to come out. I have a link to his video down in the description. So make sure y'all go check his video out. Really, really awesome kid. Make sure you go check that out. So I did it, you know, because I said I would do it. It was kind of weird because I know nothing about him, right? So it was kind of different because I just know nothing about the Pokemons. But yes, Chase the Kingdom, absolutely. If you were just joining us, how about hit that thumbs up button? Let's get the video out there a little bit further. Guys, I truly appreciate everybody that is coming to hang out with me. Yesy Lou, Chase's Kingdom, Pop the Heat, JKL, reading and retail. I wanted to say something totally else there for some reason. I had to stop myself. I really appreciate it, guys. If there's anything you want to talk about, throw a comment over there, and I'm going to move down the list only because I just don't know who this guy is, and I don't like faking that I know who things are. I don't have a clue. I know that it's from an anime. I mean, I am on top of that one, but I don't know enough about these guys to really talk about them. I can talk to y'all about the anime, though. Anytime that they are making animes, they start as a, how do we make this into an action figure? How do we make this into a cartoon character? How is this going to look on a poster? How is this going to look on a mug? And that's how they start in the designing of animes and cartoons and things to that effect. And not just that. Now, I mean, that goes even further into movies. I mean, we could get real deep on that subject, but we're not going to. But where I'm going at is that's why they make such good pops. That's why they make such good statues. That's why they make such good products, is because they were thought out before it happened. It's not like a meme. Somebody made a meme about a rabbit, and then the rabbit had to come into today, and then they had to transform it to be something that it wasn't. That's not the case. These guys started out in the designing process as to how is this going to look as an action figure? How is this going to look as this? How is this going to look at that? Mark, I'm going to answer your question real quick. My answer to this is going to simply be, what are the pink pops for? So I know that I haven't really looked at them. This is normally my day that I sit down with y'all and we go through Instagram and I look at all the stuff that they made last week. Because if I don't do that, I'm going to be 100% honest with everybody here. I get slightly obsessed if I look at it every day. So I wait now until Thursdays, and then I come on here and I hang out with y'all and I go through Instagram and I see what the new ones are so that I don't get obsessed. So I haven't looked at them yet. I kind of seen little pictures of them here and there as I was scrolling Instagram, looking at people's pictures, but I haven't really sat down and looked at them yet. If they're doing them as a breast cancer awareness, I'm all on top of it. I have a deep place in my heart for that. My grandmother passed away from breast cancer, so there's this deep place in my heart when it comes to the whole breast cancer awareness stuff. But if they're doing it for that, I'm all on top of it. If they're doing it for Valentine's, well, I look at Valentine's as being a retail holiday. So I'm always going to get my wife something for Valentine's. I'm always going to get my daughter something for Valentine's. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a real holiday to me. Just not a real one. So let's see what we have from there. And look, this is another one to me that is absolutely no surprise that it made it into the top 10 added to someone's wish list of 2020. This one, look, don't be sorry. Look, it's okay. She was 80, 86, 87 years old. She lived a good life, but you know, that kind of like changes the way you look at things, right? It slightly changes your perspective of things. This Mandalorian, let's see, Chase says, about to jump subjects. Hey, I'm all right with jumping subjects. Anytime you want to jump them, I'm ADD. We can jump these all day. I'm about to jump subjects. The Batman bundle. I still have not. Do you mean like the Robin, where they did the Robin? Is that what you're saying, Chase? Where they come out with the Robin is a chase. I am definitely going to do that as a chase roulette. I did not buy the bundle. I'm kind of waiting for that black suited Batman to come out. That black suited Batman to me is fire. Now, not the black suited, the blue suited. The blue suited Batman to me is fire. It's the throwback. It gives him like this throwback feel to me that says Batman a little bit more than the black suited Batman. I know that they're both Batman, but it's something that the OG of Batman is the blue one. So I'm kind of waiting on him to like hit the Funko shop, and then I'm going to try and just see if I can get him. If I don't get him when he hits the Funko shop, then maybe I'll be able to pick him up on the secondary market at some point. But I mean, I am definitely going to play a chase roulette with them. Getting on to this Mando, though, you can clearly see why he made it into the top 10 most added to your wish list on the Funko app, right? So I can understand this, but I can't all at the same time, because they actually made 3 or 4 different ones that almost look just like this one since then. So there's that side of me that says, man, this was a really hot pop. This was it. Look, anything that has to do with Mandalorian, you'll all know that I'm all on top of it. I'm a huge Mandalorian fan. I love everything about the Mandalorian. I'm really waiting to see what this season's going to bring us, though, because this season's going to be unlike any other season. They're not starting off with the child, so it kind of went back to season 1, episode 1. They're not starting off with the child. It's almost like the story's going to start all the way over in my mind. Like, I think it's going to start all the way over. It's probably not, though. It's probably going to like go somewhere from there. We will see. But they made 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different versions of this one. So I don't think that this was probably the hottest Mandalorian of 2020, but it had some significance to it for sure. For sure, it had some significance to it. The black one does look mean, Chase. I'm not gonna lie, but it's already have like probably 7 or 8 Batman already, and they all kind of start to look alike. At some point, your Batman, unless they do something dramatically different, like they make him the Joker imposter, that's one of my favorite Batman, or the Scarecrow imposter, that's one of my favorite Batmans. I mean, so unless they start doing something dramatically different, like throwing him back in that old school blue suit, dramatically, I mean, so it unless they do something different, they all kind of start to just kind of go together. And I hate that they just kind of start to go together, but they do. Since the appearance of Boba, I am with you. I am really waiting for I don't know which one I am more excited for. I don't know if I am more excited for the Boba Fett, or if I am more excited for the new Mandalorian, because it's going to be the Book of Boba and the Mandalorian. So the Mandalorian is going to be, I think, a few months before him, and then they said the Book of Boba is going to come out like right in and I'm trying to remember the year for sure. It's like it's right at December is when they're supposed to come out with it. Funko Pop line, let's see. Oh yeah, I mean, for sure that line is about to happen. I mean, we know that, and here's the problem with that, though, is I already have like several Boba Fetts. I mean, so you have to ask yourself, like, how far can they go into this? This is number 8 out of the most made it to someone's wish list of 2020. I didn't get this guy. I missed these altogether. Look, I'm going to be honest. I'm not like horribly upset that I missed them. At some point, you have to pick and choose your battles with Funko. I know you guys hear me say that all the time. At some point, you just have to pick and choose your battles when it comes to Funko. And I chose not to take this battle. Now, I don't know if that was a good decision or not, because I know that this one like blew up later in value. But it really doesn't matter because I don't sell them. I mean, if I was into things to resell them, then I guess that would have mattered a little, right? I would have felt a little upset that I didn't get my hands on him. But I mean, I'm just not into it to resell, so it's not really bad that I missed him. Now, he did jump way up in price, though. I mean, he went way up in price, and he's just kind of stayed there. He didn't like change from that. So I mean, if you were looking to flip one, that was definitely one that you should have gotten your hands on. Oh, whoa, Elijah, you are joking. Oh, so that's one of them that everybody that's in this chat right now went for. I am sure that everybody here tried to get in on the Obi-Wan 3000 piece. I bet that thing is fire. You'll have to let us all know when you drop that video. You have to tag us all on Instagram or something. That way we can all check it out, because that's one of them that just not everybody is going to get their hands on. Let's see what they have as number 9 is also going to be another Pokemon. So, like I said a minute ago, guys, this only goes to show that how big of a following Pokemon has right at the end of the day. So not only did they make like 5 or 6 into the most added to someone's collection of 2020, they made 5 or 6 that have made it into the most added to the wish list of 2020. Insane how many of those have just made it like in these lists. Now I am going to move on to number 10. Number 10 is going to be a Johnny Bravo. Here is the sad thing about the Johnny Bravo, though. If he made it into your wish list, you're probably never going to get him. I want to say that this guy was a limited run. I can't say that for sure, but I know that he sold out super quick. I haven't seen them add him back on there. Look, if anybody was waiting for him to get added back on there, it was definitely me. I wanted to see him and the whole like Dexter get added back on there. Never happened. Never happened though. Those guys have stayed off since then. They're really awesome pops. I mean, you can look at that and tell why it made it into everybody's like top 10. Yeah. So look, yeah, I mean, look, it happens sometimes. Every once in a while we get lucky as collectors and we manage to pick those up. I'm going to kind of like slide back through these real quick though and just see like how many of these guys ended up on their how many of the Pokemons ended up on the list this time. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them made it into the most added to your wish list of 2020 on the Funko app. And this, let me see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. So that's gonna make 9 out of the 20 pops that either got added to someone's collection or their wish list in their top 10 is Pokemon. So, I mean, that just goes to show you how big of a following that the Pokemon community and how collectible that stuff is. And I know some of their cards are just continuing to go up in value every single day, which is just insane. I mean, that's one of those where you almost wish that at some point you would have started collecting Pokemons as a child to do nothing else but to have them to resell them at this point. I'm going to move over real quick and I'm going to pull up their Instagrams because this is one of my favorite moments. I sit down and go over the Instagram with you guys and see what they have going on. I just have to be able to read that little rating that they have over there on this thing real quick. There we go. All right, so let's see what we have here. We are back into some WandaVision stuff, which is kind of insane to me. I don't know anything about the WandaVision. I know that it's coming out here in less than, so I got 8 days. 8 days is when we will see WandaVision. So that should be next Friday is when we're going to see WandaVision. And then hopefully, I'm going to have to get with JKL and Chris and JB and those guys and see if they want to do the WandaVision review like we did with The Mandalorian. I really hope so because that was just a lot of fun. But WandaVision is kind of cool. I just don't know a lot about WandaVision. I know that it's supposed to be like something. It almost sounds like some Freddy Krueger stories to me. Not real sure. This is something that Funko did. Something about say goodbye to 2020. I don't really know what that meant. So we're gonna move like right past that. I'm not gonna talk about where they giving shout outs and hashtags. It doesn't look like these lists. And I was gonna say this earlier. Funko's lack of news is kind of concerning. I mean, JKL, I am happy to know that because here shortly I'm going to get with everybody and see who's in and who's not. So that is a breath of fresh air. I do need to put on my glasses, but why are you calling me out on not putting on my glasses? That's why it takes me a minute sometimes to read y'all's comments. I'm like this. I'm trying to get like my binoculars out to see if I can see that small writing. So their lack of news lately, and I moved off of their blog, and I shouldn't have moved off their blog here. I'm gonna like move back to that real quick, and then we're gonna come back because in their blog they're actually showing that they're gonna have this whole like they have this whole thing that they're about to come up with. They're calling it Funko Fall is what I want to say that they're calling it, and it's okay to me. It doesn't sound like a whole lot to me, but I'm going to back up real quick so that we can look at their Funko Fall. Now, here we are. So in their Funko Fall, they've kind of like went through what they're doing, and they're calling it the Funko Fair is what they're calling it. So in this Funko Fair, they're going to give us like 2 or 3 days. It's something to that effect. And let me get back over here. So they're going to have a 2-week virtual event, right? So it's going to be new products for 2020. It's going to be vinyls, sodas, and Funko games, Paka Paka, and some of their Loungefly stuff. Any of their Loungefly stuff is always the clothing lines and things to that effect. They don't say that they're selling anything. So this is like the confusing part to this. It says that they're going to be giving us a sneak peek into the products that will be coming out later in the season of 2021. Now, the reason I say that no news from them is kind of concerning because it makes me think that maybe they fired the wrong people, right? So when the whole COVID stuff and they did the whole clean shop and they managed to like get people pushed out the door and they kept a few people that they did, it makes me feel like maybe they let go of some of the wrong people. Now, this is supposed to start January the 19th. They're going to have a new episode on the Fun TV. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of enjoy seeing what they have on the Fun TV ever since they came out with the Fred Flintstone and the Barney, and they're doing the whole like presidential thing. To this day, I still kind of want to do that. If we're being honest, I still kind of want to like find somebody to sit down and do that with. But that maybe that's an idea for a later like time. So they're saying it's going to be a 2-week event. They give like the credits here as to who like is going to be in here. So they got the Warner Brothers to DC, Pokemon, NBC Universal, whatever that means. They got Five Nights at Freddy and Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, and then it says Funko products. I mean, so they kind of give us as a who in the brand they're gonna have like in the whole like the Funko Fall. They give us the brands. They're not giving us like what they're gonna have. I don't honestly think that they're going to have anything for sale. I don't think we're gonna see them doing any kind of like Funko flash sales, and that's exactly what it is, JKO. It is a replacement for the Toy Fair, which I kind of look. I kind of agree with what they're doing, but on the other side, as I was saying, it makes me think that maybe they got rid of the wrong people when they were cleaning house. They didn't do anything coming in to the New Year's that I think, look, they could have did an Uncle Sam. There were so many opportunities coming into 2021. I'm sorry. There were so many opportunities coming into 2021 that they did not take, that just confused the hell out of me as to why they didn't take it. And it makes me think that a lot of their team and a lot of their efforts, Christina, how are you doing? I'm glad you could join us. It makes me think that a lot of their team and a lot of their efforts got focused onto this toy fair versus what are we going to keep the hype up about? What are we going to keep the news about? I really hope that here in the next week, the next 2 weeks, that Funko like re-energizes me into their brand, because right now I feel like as a collector, it's starting to go stale. I feel like it's starting to fall flat. So I'm maybe on the 19th, they're going to like do something that's really going to pick us all up and get us like boosted back into it. And that's my hopes is what's going on. But I really think that they disappointed us coming into this Christmas. I think that they could have did more with Funko Freddy when they did the you buy $75, they'll send you a free Freddy. I felt like they could have did more. I felt like we kind of missed out on the Cyber Monday this year. So I'm hoping that this is going to bring some energy back into everything. Let's see. He says, I think they're going to drop the blue. Look, I hope so. I really do hope so. I want that blue Batman Samurai. He is fire in my opinion, just in my opinion. He is pretty fire, guys. If you were just joining us, make sure you hit that thumbs up. So, like I said, I wanted to like go back to that real quick and see what they had going on there. And then I'm going to go back into my Instagram. Because like I said a second ago, this is one of my favorite things to do is to sit down with you guys and just kind of like go through their Instagram. But I don't really see anything new. I see that they have this Batman, which is not Batman. I said Batman. My mind is all on that blue Batman right now. They have this Wolverine. So this is a really throwback Wolverine, but this is such a throwback Wolverine that I don't remember who he is, right? I have no clue. Like this Wolverine. This was not my childhood Wolverine. So this must have been like a Wolverine that was like 60s or maybe even like early to late 70s. I mean, this would have been a weird like Wolverine to me, or maybe this was just a concept Wolverine that they never really came out with, but it's a pretty fire Wolverine nonetheless. But I don't know who this Wolverine is, so I'm just never going to go after him. Let's see that so they haven't really done anything to their Instagram. This looks like the same stuff we went over last week. I mean, this is pretty much all the same stuff we went over last week, and this is what I'm saying to it feels like they fell flat. It feels like here lately that Funko is kind of falling flat on what they are doing. I don't see a whole lot coming out of them. This is all the same stuff that we've looked at last week. They don't have anything new coming out. You go to their app, they don't have really anything on there. Their creative team doesn't have a whole lot of new pops coming out. It's kind of strange as to what they have going on. So look, there's no need for us to go over the same stuff we went over last week. And then, you know, me and Chris will be talking about some of this stuff tomorrow. So don't forget to come check out Mr. TechBot and myself tomorrow at 6 p.m. Standard Eastern Time. We are live every Friday, 6 p.m. Standard Eastern Time. Tomorrow, we're going to have a special guest that is going to be Rockin' Row. Will be joining us tomorrow. And we have another guest as well, but I don't know his name right offhand, and I'd have to ask Chris, and I don't know what Chris doing. But make sure that you're coming to check us out tomorrow. We're gonna have Rock and Roll on there. We all know that he is the king of Funko sodas. Now, if that's just if we're being honest, right? We all have seen his channel. He's the only person that I've ever seen that is unboxing 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 of these guys at a time. If you have not checked out Rock and Roll, you need to go check out one of his videos and make sure you put hashtag Wayneko Crew. Make sure he knows we were there, right, guys? I mean, anytime we go and we check somebody out, you make sure he knows. There he is, Mr. TechBot himself. It's going to be two boys and their pops. So tomorrow will be Rock and Roll and two boys and their pops is what we will have going on there. But we're going to move over real quick and see if they've added anything new to their line. This is something that's kind of fun sometimes to just see if what they've added new or what the old stuff they brought back on here. So here is what y'all were asking me about a minute ago. This is going to be their Soda King. Zach, I'm telling you, Rock and Roll is definitely the Soda King. Now, I thought that I started him off like right at the beginning. He definitely he has it going on when it comes to them, but he also has a lot of them. I mean, he unboxes a lot of those guys at a time. I'm going to click on the Yoda though real quick and just see if they have this guy. If this is for some breast cancer awareness or if they're just using this one is to make money. I mean, look, if they're using it as a breast cancer awareness, I'm all on top of it. That's my guy, and that's not what they're doing at all. So what they're doing is they've simply just made a Valentine's Star Wars. Look, they are just cashing in on Star Wars every way that they can. Now, here's one of my pet peeves when it comes to this site. Now I want y'all to check this out. This is one of my pet peeves when it comes to their site. Anytime you hit the back button on their site, it's going to take you all the way to the bottom of the page. That is super annoying. I mean, super annoying that I have to now go from the bottom of their page, scroll back up into what I'm doing before I can look at anything. Super, super, super annoying. But let's get back into that real quick and see what we got. So we have the Yoda. So it looks like that they just found a new way. Oh, look, I said that and they turned me into a liar. Did you see that? Funko just turned me into a liar. Look, hopefully they fixed it and that won't happen again. But man, that is one of the most annoying things about going onto their site is every time you back up, it throws you all the way to the bottom. Okay, so the question was, how do I feel about the Pops? I'm not that big of a fan of them. Now, I like the Stormtrooper only because I could see the Stormtrooper in everything. I could just see that guy in everything. Andrew, have a good one, bud. It's good to see you. I can see him in everything. Everything I can see that Stormtrooper in. I cannot see the rest of those like in that color. I mean, the Stormtroopers, those things change all the time. All the time. Well, I guess I don't know. I don't know. You'll have to elaborate a little bit more. Elaborate just a little bit more on there. So I can't see the rest of those in that, so I'm just going to kind of browse by that. I do see that they have the Evil Knievel out. Oh, man. So I want to say this one has a Chase variance, and this one is the one with the Chase variance. So this Evil Knievel has the Chase variance. Now, the common is just okay, in my opinion. That common is just mediocre, if we're being honest. This common is nothing special. It's just a common. Till you get into the Chase variants of this one, and I am also playing Chase Roulette with this guy. Until we get into the Chase variants. Now, the Chase variants of this guy is fire. I don't know what it is about them changing the suit and putting that helmet on him, but it changes the whole way that it looks. I mean, it changes everything about that Pop instantly. Instantly, they change it all in an instant. You need to dress up the hey, you know, that's actually a good idea. I'm glad you said that. Now I'm thinking about coming out with another sticker here lately, and I was gonna pull it up and let you guys see it, but I had to. I left my external hard drive upstairs. I don't have that in my hand, or I would pull it up and let you guys see it. So I think that no, I can't pull it up this way, or maybe I can. Let me see real quick. I think that maybe I can like pull him up this way. Let's see. No, that's not what I was trying to do. Let's see. So if I click on that, no, that's not going to work neither. All right. So I'm just not going to worry that much about it right now. But it was the whole like the whole Wayne with the little robot and it says 5,000 under it. I was thinking about making a little clear sticker of that guy. I don't really know that I'm going to do it. It's one of those thoughts that I have, but I haven't made stickers in a while. So I've been kind of just trying to figure out exactly what sticker that I was going to be coming up with in the near future. This guy is really fire though. And I will be playing Chase Roulette with him. This is one of them that I had been wanting to play Chase Roulette with. It is just going to be a lot of fun. Yo, I ordered new stickers today. Look, I can't wait for those. That will be pretty awesome. That will absolutely be pretty awesome. I might do an Evel Knievel in this whole thing. Look, if y'all grew up with me, y'all would think I thought I was Evel Knievel anyways. Me and my brother were always doing something stupid, like building zip lines, jumping off houses with trash bags, like we were going to stop ourselves from hitting the ground. It never really worked right. It always just kind of messed us up at the end of the day, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I also drank out of the water hose. I had to walk to the mailbox to get my mail. And then it threw me to all the way to the bottom of that page. Did y'all see that? So it worked right for the first couple of times. And then it threw me all the way to the bottom of the page. Now, I have almost pulled the trigger on this guy 4 or 5 times just because to me, he will go right into the whole rock line. They don't have him as a rock line. I want to say that they have him as a movie. They're not calling him Eminem. He's called B Rabbit, just like he would have been from the movie. Look, they do that all the time with characters, so I'm not surprised that we see them doing that there. But it's pretty cool, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's a pretty cool pop. I didn't. What? What are you talking about? What didn't you see? You're gonna have to tell me what you didn't see. All right. So let's move on from there. B Rabbit is pretty fire. He is a pretty cool pop. Let's see. Chase, that is, you are absolutely correct. So when it comes right down to my stickers, whatever run of them I'm doing, like some of them here lately haven't been more than 25 on the run. Some of them have been a little bit more than that. But here lately, my runs have been of 25. And my Patreons are always going to get my stickers when I make them. Y'all, the Patreons are the first guys that I send those stickers out to every single time. So if you are not a member of my Patreon, it's down in the description below. Make sure you go check that out if you're interested in getting stickers every month. That's one of the perks of being in the Patreon, is you guys are always the guys that I am going to send those out to. Let's see. Work just fine. Oh, look, I'm telling you, I feel it. I feel the old age every day, more than you know. I don't know if they're having a license issue with JKO with Eminem or exactly what they're having, but that tends to be when you see the characters versus the actual person, is there's some kind of a license problem going on. What do y'all think about the Lutra Libre? And I know I didn't say that right. You don't have to throw a comment over there and tell me I didn't say that right. I already know that I didn't say that right. What do y'all think? Is this something that we're going to be collecting? This is not something that I'm going after just because they don't remind me enough of the person, right? So if I clicked on my Deadpool one here, right? He doesn't scream Deadpool enough to me to make me want to go get him. To me, it just looks like a guy in a mask. That's all it looks like to me. It looks like it's a guy in a mask. That's it. I don't see anything else when I'm looking at that. It doesn't jump out and say Deadpool. Now, I did see 1 or 2 over there a second ago that kind of like screamed Deadpool to me, and they were all the way back at the bottom of the page again. That kind of like, not Deadpool, Wolverine. Now, if I seen Wolverine, I would know that was Wolverine, right? I mean, there would be some part of me that would say that this is some sort of generic version of Wolverine, right? But there's no way that I just wouldn't. It's not one that I would collect. I mean, I would seriously look at that and think that it was a generic version of Wolverine. It was some knockoff version that someone made that wasn't supposed to be in a retail store to begin with, and I don't even know how they got a license agreement. So it's not one that I would go after. But you'll have to throw in a comment and tell me if it's one that you're going to go after. Now, I was hoping that Pop the Heat was still in here because I know that Pop the Heat is a huge huge wrestling fan, so I'm sure that he's going after every one of these. Which, look, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's something you're into, then go for it. I mean, that's the fun thing about Funkos, right? The fun thing about Funkos is everybody's collection's just going to look a little different. At the end of the day, your collection's going to be a little different than my collection. My collection's going to be a little different than the next person's collection, and so forth and so on. And that is the fun part about a Funko, is that if I came to JKL's house, his collection's going to look completely different than mine. The same thing with Chase, the same thing with Mr. Techbot, the same thing with Funko PDX. Everybody's collection is just a little different, just a little different. Now, some of us, we kind of start getting really close, like into the same collection, but it doesn't happen very often. This grumpy cat is I know that it's a meme. I don't know what meme it's from. It's not something that I'm going to get super into. Oh, so they're actually wrestlers that, but here's my question. Is it actual wrestlers with the but and before I get off of here, you're gonna have to answer that. Are they actual like wrestlers of the Marvel characters that are wearing? Are they wearing like the Marvel mask? Because then that would make more sense to me as to why they did it, other than just something else to put that on. Let's see. The grumpy cat is pretty cool. Now, this one was a meme. I've almost pulled the trigger on this one like 4 or 5 times. I don't know why they're calling it an icon. It must have been a really big meme, I guess, is the only answer that I'm going to have to that. I am going to wait, though, on Yesy Lou. Ha! Ha! All right, well, that makes more sense to me as to why they did it. If there's like an actual like wrestling league out there that has the Marvel superheroes, that is kind of fire. And I almost I'm gonna have to look that up when we get off of here just to see if like just to see it, right? Because that's pretty fire. But it's still not something that I'm going to run out there and jump on. I mean, it's they're cool, but they're just not for me. I mean, it would be about like, is Superman versus Deadpool. When it comes to Superman versus Deadpool, I'm going after Deadpool all day, every day. I mean, it's just the way it goes down. And that's what I mean by everybody's collection is just a little different. Everybody's collection when it comes to Funkos is just a little different. Now, I'm going to blow through these real quick. We've already seen all of those. Guys, do not forget that Mr. Techbot and myself go live every Friday at 6 p.m. Standard Eastern Time. I still don't know why I say Standard Eastern Time, but I'm saying it just in case anybody's on the West Coast. It is Standard Eastern Time. Mr. Techbot and myself, we go live. Tomorrow, we are going to have some special guests. So we're going to have Rock and Roll. We're going to have him on here, guys. If you haven't checked him out, go over, check his channel out. Throw down hashtag Wayneko Crew. Show some love over there. And then we're going to have, and I'm going to have to scroll back up here to my buddy Chris's post that he made. It is going to be Two Boys and Their Pops, which is also another fire channel. So, guys, there is going to be 2 fire channels tomorrow. So make sure that you are with us tomorrow at 6 p.m. to check those out. And we'll come on there. We'll talk about some news. We'll talk about some pops. Mr. Techbot will give his famous mystery box pick of the week, which is something always that's interesting to check out what his mystery box of the week is going to be. Guys, I really appreciate everybody who came and hung out with me today. Hope that y'all enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. Have a good one.